Hey, 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 great day, everybody. Welcome. Of course, this is Miriam Sister Flora, aka the Chat Diva, providing conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision of ascension. This is a great day today. I'm excited to be here with you. Yesterday, I called yesterday Friday, but today is Friday. So we're going to get started with a couple of conversations. Welcome, Victor, to the conversation. So today is actually Friday. And that just tells you about how when you're moving outside of time, because time as we know it is a construct that we agree upon. But for those of us that sometimes, good morning, for those of us who don't want to function within the constraints of this physical realm's time schedule, I just get up and do what I got to do. I know it's a new day. I don't really worry about what day of the week is. I don't really get consumed. So yesterday I said it was a Freedom Friday chat. So we'll still keep that as that, because that conversation yesterday was very much about us tapping into our freedom and tapping into creating our own reality. So if you missed that, you can go to my YouTube page at Chat Time on YouTube and you can pick that up from yesterday. But today we're going to have another conversation. Hey there, Emmanuel. What's up? Yep. So we're going to be talking about some stuff today. I want to talk a little bit today about how we keep trapping ourselves in associations. That's how I'm going to say it. How we keep trapping. Thank you so much. We keep trapping ourselves. We keep trapping ourselves in conversations. We keep trapping ourselves into environments, peoples, agreements, right? Including our family. And the first one we do is our family, right? And I know for me in my culture, they always tell us, family is everything, and always take care of your parents and always honor your parents. And that's in a lot of cultures, right? But what I want to talk about is how that type of language begins to put you in a psychological prison. It begins to put you in a mental and emotional prison. A mental and emotional prison that when you try to do anything that it is opposite to what it is they're looking for or what they're expecting, that you find yourself trapped. So you can't have a healthy relationship. Your business begins to suffer. Your friendships begin to suffer, because you're contingent. Everything is contingent upon whether or not your friends and family accept it. And I can tell you that as a Black African cultures, a lot of times we are so contingent upon keeping the family safe that we allow shit to come in our lives that shouldn't even be there. We give up our own dreams, our own visions, because we want to keep for the family. We want the family unit to be intact. We do it for the culture. We do it for associations to be accepted in our communities. But the whole time we're miserable and we're sneaking around doing things that we shouldn't have to do. So today I want to talk about that. Where did that mindset come from, and how do we break out of that emotional mental prison? Because if we don't break out, we're going to lose the very things that divine God, creator, source, light has to offer you. So what's happening is people are coming into our life, and then our family says, no, they're not the person for you. Like, I know you're supposed to go and get approval from the family. You're supposed to get approval from the family to be able to marry somebody or to be in a relationship with somebody. Or if your family is so dysfunctional and you get with a non-dysfunctional person, you find yourself letting go of the thing that's working for you in order for them to be content and happy with using you. I'm telling y'all, some of us have some toxic relationships with people in our lives, and yep, get the game right or get the game tight. Exactly. And so people, we are losing ourselves, and we're suffering. We're suffering. We're suffering because we can't make a choice for ourselves. And when you're doing that, then you're limited. You're bound. You're bound by the power of other people. You're bound. Literally, you can see yourself tied up around your mouth, your eyes. You can only peep out. You can only do what you want to do. Some of us chose careers because the career we really were passionate about, our family and our friends, our family told us we couldn't do it. Or maybe you don't have friends because of the way your family does it. So today's conversation is about how do we break free from that? Let's really look at what makes us agree for so long to sacrifice our happiness, to sacrifice our truth, to sacrifice our visions, our purpose, our goals, our aspirations for the whole sake of the greater good. Now, I know y'all have heard, oh, this is for the greater good. But how long and how much do we do for the greater good? Because aren't we part of the greater good? Aren't we part of the greater good? So if you're part of the greater good, but yet the greater good is benefiting and you're not, something isn't right. Hey, Devon. Hey, Nettle, Vincent, Jamie. Right? We have to get to the space where we're confident, brown skin and welcome. We have to get to the place where we can become confident in knowing, welcome, Nana. We're just having a great conversation. Conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision ascending. We have conversations about things. Today we're talking about how we get trapped by our families, associations, and our friendships and our community associations that make us make choices that are not benefiting us, that make us sacrifice our own happiness, our own prosperity, our own truths, because we want to be accepted. Now, yes, as humans, we are naturally, hey, Linda, we are naturally socialized creature. Humankind could not exist if it was not for us complying to sociology, right? We want to be social people. We have to be social people. That's how we survived, right? By being in numbers. But then something happened when they stopped from going from being safety in numbers to meaning that in order to stay in this safety of numbers, you needed to not do anything that makes you enjoy your life. When did that come about? Because that's what I'm seeing in the majority of my clients and people that I talk to. This is what they're complaining about. Well, I wish that I would have pursued this career. Well, I'm unhappy in my relationship. Well, I really didn't choose the person. Well, I had this other person in mind, but my family didn't want me to yourself. Self-sabotaging yourself, and you're asking yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it to continue to be engaging with other people that mean you no good? And now you're ruining another life because you're with somebody that probably doesn't want to be with you either. You're in a job where you're doing low levels of productivity and you're miserable. When I see these videos on social media, people are like, oh my God, I got to go to my job again. That. When they're complaining about that, that's their choice. Because at some point, you have to rebel enough for yourself to have peace and harmony. You have to be willing to fight for your truth, your willingness, your grace upon your own life, forgiveness upon your own self. Explore the options that truly make you happy. Now, some of us can't even say what makes us happy because most of what we thought made us happy was based upon somebody else's happiness. Let that rest for a second. Do you really know what makes you happy? Now, you'll say, oh, I love seeing my children having everything they need, or I love my spouse being happy, or I love seeing people enjoy themselves. But what do you enjoy? Because that's based upon someone else's register, somebody else's thermostat, somebody else's understanding, somebody else's appreciation, somebody else's acknowledgement. So if you like throwing parties and you throw a party and nobody dances or nobody comes or nobody participates or nobody tells you they're having a great time, how does that impact you? When do you start making choices that are the choices that you want to make for your good, for your greatness, for your honor, for your truth? Instead of putting up facades where people are holding on to you just because. And you're holding on just because. This conversation is about making the decisions for you to have your own autonomy, yet be part of the group and the whole. No one wants to experience fake happiness. Well, I'm just going to trudge along. I'm going to work this job because I need the money and there's nothing else I can do right now. It's hard in the country. Jobs are hard to come by. I have a family to support. I have my mother. I have my father. I'm helping my niece and nephew get through college, or I'm helping my children get through school. So all of these pressures begin to be in the back of your mind. And guess what? The more you accept, the more they pile on. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the presents. The more they pile on. So you get all these extra pressures placed into your life. And you're wondering why you're always fatigued, why you always feel like there's not enough time, why you have short tempers. You're doing things to sabotage your health. You're doing things that sabotage your spirituality. You're doing things that sabotage your ethics. Because it's too much for you to handle and to bear. And at the end of the day, God forbid something happens to you. What occurs? What occurs? How does it maximize your life, your vision, your goal? People are always asking for help, but when it's time for you to get the help, what do they do? What do they do? What do they do? These are the questions you want to ask yourself when you're engaging with people, when you're sacrificing. That's why I teach people, get rid of the language called sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to suffer. It's a choice. You choose to do that. Nobody is forcing you to do that. You can easily say no. Well, no, I can't say no because it's my parents. Why not? Why not? I can't say no because it's my children. Why not? I can't say no because it's part of our religious process to do charity and to be available and to be a good person. Y'all should go back and watch my video about being a good person, what it means to be a good person. If you got to tell people you're a good person, if you got to wait for people to tell you a good person, or you got to tell everybody else you're a good person, you're not a good person. You're just a compliant person that is willing to be used by other people. And you're not exerting your personal value. Men and women do this. You're not exerting your personal value. You're not taking a stock. You're not putting value in your stock as you. You are your greatest asset. Without you, there's nothing else. You can't help your people. You can't help your community. You can't help your culture. You can't build up the religion. You can't build up the community, the relationship, if you yourself are not authentically who you are and doing the things that are required of you for your own purpose, for your own development. There used to be a show called Arrested Development. What that means is that somebody else has arrested your development. They have control of it. And that's what a lot of us are dealing from. We're dealing from a place where we have control. Somebody else has control of your development as a human being. As a person, your evolvement. Some of my friends say, "Oh, your children are so entitled, and they have too much freedom. You give them too much freedom. You let them." No, I wanted my children to grow up and know that they were in a safe place to express themselves and to ask questions and to be able to identify who they are supposed to be in this world, outside of me, outside of their siblings, but yet at the same time interconnected with us. Right? Ooh, damn flies in here, girl. Woo! This fly is horrible. I may have to reset. Okay? I don't play with no flies. I don't do bugs. Flies are spies. For me, spiritually, flies are spies. They're people have sent them here to find out what's going on, to listen, but not be here. So if y'all see me put the phone down, I'm going to kill that fly. And that might hurt some of y'all feelings, but I'm going to kill the fly. All right? So we are identifying who we are. Welcome, Mamie. We are identifying, what is it that we really want to have in our life, and what type of adjustments, what type of radical changes have to happen. And when you hear the word radical, I don't want you to think that it's going to destroy something, but it might. But it may change the way in which you're doing things, the way in people have to accept you. Some people are not going to accept you waking up. They're not going to accept you choosing to no longer comply just because that's what we always do, and because we're family, or because we're part of the same community, or because we have always done it this way. Just like I said, when it comes to my children, I let them have their moments, but there are boundaries. And it's not, that's it. Because I don't want to be the reason why my children are failures. Hello. I don't want to be the reason why I'm 99 years old, laying on my deathbed and having regrets. I don't want to wait until I have a near-death experience, and neither do you have a near-death experience before you realize that 90% of what you've been doing is not even because of you. Welcome to the room, everybody. I am the Chat Diva, a.k.a. Marian Sister Afua, Azon Life Alchemy Center, sharing today the importance of us to question this ideal of conformity when it minimizes our value, minimizes our purpose, our visions, our hopes, aspirations, personally. Oh, I'll do it when the kids go off to school. I'll do it I'll do it on our 20th anniversary. I'll do it, he'll change, she'll change. I can always go back to school. Sure you can, but it won't be the experience that you were supposed to have when the idea came to you. I have a friend right now whose family doesn't like the relationship. So they've been sabotaging and talking to the spouse. His family is talking to him to get him away from his spouse. Because what the spouse did was step back and give him a different viewpoint of how the family uses him. How the family always depends upon him and doesn't care if he has anything. And they think because they do minimal tasks for him, things that he could do for himself, or he could hire somebody that wouldn't give him as much stress. But that's what they do. And so they use the ex and the children along with the other family members, and they confuse them. And they tell them, oh, you're what? But now that he sees that, now that he's aware of that, the family's upset. And they telling him that he should leave his person that's elevated his life, that's improved his life, that they're doing well. They're doing very well. They're both professionals. They're doing very well. They have children. So you have to be careful when you allow yourself to have your development arrested. Now, this individual is living his life, met the person that he needs in this stage in his life, and then the family comes back behind them and try to sabotage it. Not because of anything else. If the ex was so great, why weren't they able to keep that couple together? Why did they break up? And why did this new woman come in and be able to marry him and be with him and have children? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the room. Thank you for being here. We have to stop letting people arrest our development. Thank you, Nana. We have to stop allowing ourselves to be arrested in our development. We have to stop allowing people to have the power that is our power. This is what people mean when they say reclaim your power, restore yourself back, reclaim all your energy, right? What that means is that you are allowing a connection You are allowing connections to dominate your life versus the true relationships that you need in order to go to the next level. I'm not ever telling you to deny your family. I'm telling you to consider family, friends, labels, titles, and associations when it comes to your development. No one. Exactly, Edward. As I said earlier, you are your greatest asset. People say, oh, your time. No, that's because they want your time. They're going to tell you your time is your greatest asset, and they're going to tell you that your career is so important. They're going to tell you that family is so important. They're going to tell you that your fraternity, your sorority, your religious group is so important. They're going to tell you that, but they're not going to tell you that you yourself are the greatest asset, because it is you that is going to channel and experience and represent the divinity of your religion to the world and express it properly. But you can't do that if you're in angst or if you're in resentment. You can be a CEO of a corporation and have a great business or be a great employee. But if you're miserable doing it, how does that really benefit you? There is no by and by. For those of you that are waiting, it is the past, the present, and the future. And your past is to be looked at as a way to observe it for the lessons and tools and processes that worked very well. And the present is where you master them or improve upon them, so that when in the future, including futures beyond you, can be better. But it's not about sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice myself. Women do it all the time. In my duties as a coach, a counselor, a metaphysician, and a spiritualist, can I tell you the conversations that I have with clients? Thank you for being here. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much for all the roses. I'll thank you so much. You are your greatest asset. No one or no thing should ever make you feel like you have to do something because it's a required sacrifice. Now, there are some things we choose to do because we understand that it is a requirement for us to grow, right? It is a requirement, right? If we want to reduce our body mass, then, we're going to say, I'm not going to eat that second piece of cake, or I'm going to get up and I'm going to, not watch the TV show. Or I'm not going to go to the bar because I'm trying to abstain from alcohol. Or whatever that term is, I'm not going to go buy that new outfit. Those are minor things that we should do on a regular basis because we understand there's another purpose for those resources. I'm going to read the book instead of just letting it sit on the shelf. You have to take care of yourself in a spiritual, emotional, mental, the optimal physical health. Leverage your skills, knowledge, talents, abilities, and resources. You got to know how to handle your finances and get a positive relationship to have financial assurances. You got to develop rewarding and reciprocating relationships. A lot of our relationships are not rewarding. And I'm not just talking about love relationships. As I said earlier, familiar relationships are not either. Those with our families are not always rewarding and reciprocating. They're guilt-based. Oh, they're family. Oh, they're family. Culturally, we are pulled into things because of our culture. This is the way it's always been. Maybe it's time for an upgrade or a revision. I have people that say, oh, like they're telling me, oh, you got land back home. I do. Well, you haven't built anything on land. You got to build something on land. You got to, because you can come back home when you retire. Why? Maybe I don't want to build anything on land. Maybe I just want to farm it out to other people. Maybe I just want to sit it there and keep it cleared and keep it beautiful. Maybe I just want to put a chair there every year and just sit. Or you have to build such and such a house because now why? Why do I have to build a house? After all these years, these people have never built a home. And now I'm responsible or to repair the school. Oh, it's such and such's birthday. We're all going to give X amount of dollars. Okay. If you can't do it, don't feel guilty. Just do what you got to do, because you cannot keep sacrificing yourself for other people to have happiness and you are miserable. This is the point I'm making to you today. You are the one that must first be able to find the joy, the happiness, the peace in your actions first. You are the catalyst. Boom, you hit the water. The splash comes. When the water settles, it's going to leave ripples. Are we enjoying our lives? Are we enjoying our lives? Or are you just being here? I'm just here. Whatever comes my way, I'm going to accept it. And if that's the way you're living, then that means you have forgotten what Edward said in the comments, which is you are the most important person to you. Everyone is. No one, you should not be guilted into making somebody else. You can make them feel comfortable. You don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. That's different. You should have a space. If you're sharing a space with somebody, if this is your family, this is your wife, your husband, if this is your community, yes, you want to be able to let people be comfortable around, but not drain you, not extort you, not blackmail you. Because you're taking away the joy that is supposed to be yours, and nobody else does that for you. We got to stop this lie. You don't make me happy. No, you're not happy to begin with, so therefore you don't recognize happiness. If you want to be happy, be happy. And the persons that you deal with should add or show you other ways to be happy. I'm going to repeat that again. No one can make you happy. You have to be happy already. That's why I said earlier, what makes you happy? If you know what makes you happy, you're already in a state of happiness. So when you get with this other person, they're going to show you other ways to be happy via them, or they're going to add on to the way you're already being happy. Give you more opportunities to expand upon that. Let that rest for a minute. So y'all, same thing with peace, same thing with love. People do love at different levels, at different times. People do love at different levels at different times. People love in different ways and express it in different ways, based upon who they are as an individual. The trauma, the fear, the anger, the frustration, the doubt, the worry, the lack that they've experienced. Welcome, Anthony. This is the level that we have to begin to communicate with, and from the space we want to communicate with, if we truly going to improve our lives. Like I said, you could be a multimillionaire, but you'll be miserable with it. That's why they say money don't make you happy. If you're not happy, money doesn't change you. Money doesn't change you at all. It just reveals more of your character. If you're a person that's always doing things for people because you think that makes them like you or make them loyal to you, one, that's manipulation. And two, that's what you're going to do when you get some money. Welcome, Major. That's what you're going to do when you get some money. If you are a person who doesn't feel that you're wanted and appreciated, when you get into a relationship, you're going to always feel that you're not wanted and appreciated. No matter what they do, you're going to always question whether or not they're sincere, because that's a behavior that you have taken on as yours. Whew. Hey, y'all, this is a Chat Diva. Conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired voice of ascension, a.k.a. Marian Sister Rafua of Azon Life Alchemy Center. Yeah. This is where we come into the higher elevations of existence. Change your language, change your vocabulary, change the communications that you allow to come into your life. Don't let people tell you selfish. I don't even understand that word. How can I be, if something is not benefiting me, I have a right to say no. And if I have a resource and I no longer want to share it with you, I have a right to say I don't want to share it with you. But what does society teach us? Be nice, be congenial, make sure you share. Sharing is caring. But where is the reciprocity? Where is the freedom to choose? Where's the freedom to fulfill what is a part of me? What is designed for me, for you, for us? Oh, really? I got to see this name. Okay, thank you. I don't recognize the name, but you can inbox me and let me know who you are. But thank you for being here. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness. Hey, Selena. Mwah. It's so crazy. I was just thinking about that. Place. Yeah, we had some great times in that place. We really did. And I'm so proud of all of you. And I know you're doing great. Baby's doing great. I love it. This is a beautiful experience. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we have to be willing to know what is important to you. What's required for your elevation, for your growth, for your truth, for your purpose, for your contribution. How do you as the handler of your children, because that's what we are, we're handlers. We don't own our children. Our children don't owe us anything except for to grow up and continue to thrive. And anything they do for us is out of gratitude. See, this is the things that people don't want to hear. Again, our children are not here or obligated to do anything for us. Simultaneously, while we are their handlers, encouraging them, teaching them, showing them, loving them, modeling for them, exposing them, supporting them, we should be doing the same thing for ourselves. Yep. We should be doing the same thing for ourselves. Oh, I sacrificed everything for you, so this is all. No. You agreed to have them. You agreed to be the handler. You agreed. And they agreed and they chose you. So now you allow them to live their life and make their contributions and complete their original assignment. And when they come back, have gratitude. When they do for you, have gratitude. Some of y'all didn't want to hear that. Your spouse is the same way. Your spouse is in an agreement with you to share some space, some times, their body, their mind, their spiritualness, every part of them with you. They are not obligated to do anything except for to compliment you and to help you expand. It is not your responsibility to make sure they get healed from their trauma, but it is your responsibility not to traumatize them further. I'm going to say that again. It is not your responsibility necessary to heal them from their trauma, but it is your responsibility not to add to their trauma. Nor is it your duty, or you should not have an expectation that they have to tolerate you not wanting to heal from whatever you have to heal and break free from. I know, right? Let's let that sit for a second. So I said, let's chat. This is about you honoring you and breaking free. The full moon just came, right? It was about releasing. You want to release stuff when there's a full moon. You want to get rid of stuff. When there's a full moon. So all these ideas, all these antiquated thoughts about tradition and cultures and gender and age and location, let it go, because it's not benefiting you. It's not benefiting you. It's not serving you. It's not producing. It's not allowing you the space to expand. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Summer turns into fall, fall turns into winter, winter turns into spring. Even though the cycle is the same, it always is changing. Even between the seasons, it is changing. So why do we want to keep letting ourselves stand still? Oh, this is the way my mother did it. This is the way my father did it. This is the way our people do it. This is the way. No. Be innovative. Be creative. Pull back out that imagination. Pull back up the vision and your purpose. If you're not sure of your vision and purpose, I just heard that. Somebody said it. What's my purpose? Your purpose is that thing that pulls you forward. That whenever you hear it, you see it, and you want to do it. You're excited by it. You're curious about it. That's your purpose. Having children, being married, working a job, having a business may not be your purpose, but it's a part of your life experience, part of the agreement you had in your life. I'm putting the emphasis on you as the individual. There are several individuals that make up a whole, but there shouldn't be a sacrifice of the individuals so much that they no longer exist. So I watch cartoons, and there used to be a cartoon I used to watch with my children called Very Odd Parents. We'll call the odd parents, fairly odd parents, da 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 da. And the little boy was Timmy, and he had two very odd parents. And there was a time when he got tired of people treating him different. He said he just wished everybody was the same. And so the very odd parents made everybody gray blobs, and nothing had color anymore. Nothing was distinguishable. Even his hat that he was wearing all the time disappeared. And after a day of that experience, he realized he didn't want to be like everybody else. Right? He didn't want to be like anyone else. He didn't want everybody to be the same. He missed being able to have his uniqueness. Yeah, we should. But guess what? Some people are not able to because they're confined by these labels, by these boxes, by these connections, by these groups we belong to. So we can't be who we're going to be. We're waiting, and then when we get 30, we rebel. At the age of 30, we rebel. Sometimes the children that are rebelling in their teenage years, they're rebelling because they know this is bull crap. And they know they got stuff to do. And what the parents and the family are trying to do and the schools are trying to do is confine them to a place that's not for them. That's limiting them. Always do your best. Always do your best. Always have integrity. Let your yes be yes. Let your no be no. This is from Don Miguel's 4 Agreements. When he first wrote that book, I was like, what is he talking about? And he happened to be a speaker at an event I was at. And so I had a chance to talk to him and actually hear him do his presentation about the 4 Agreements. And what it comes down to is that you should always have integrity. If you don't have integrity, meaning that you are super clear on what you believe, trust, and will and will not do, or will and will not accept, integrity is deeper than honesty. But honesty is a part of integrity. Right? So if Don Miguel says, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. When you say a thing, say it and you want it to be. Don't explain it. Don't compromise. No, say it. It just is what it is. Don't take it personal. Don't take things personal. People do and say what they want to do and say because they feel it's going to benefit them or give them the result they desire. We all do it. So if you know that, don't take it personal. It wasn't you. It wasn't about you. They're doing what makes them happy. That's why I said earlier, we're out here making sacrifices. We're trying to, I'm keeping the peace. Are you? Are you keeping the peace if you're miserable? If your peace disappears, are you really keeping the peace? Number 3, make no assumptions. Make no assumptions. Don't assume you know anything about anyone. Don't assume you know the process. Don't assume that people are going to do things because they're in. How many of us have been in just type at the bottom of 1 if you've ever made an assumption that somebody was going to be there for you, or that someone was going to provide something, or you made an assumption that because you were part of a group that you would be a part of the process or the benefit or the reward. Type of 1 if you've ever done that. Because when you think about it, this is where we are. These are the type of conversations that people don't want to have because they think, thank you for that. Thank you for, I see the other ones on the other side as well. I see them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? So when you get into these conversations, it makes you be accountable. So now you can't play the victim anymore. Now you can't be victimized by other people, because now your awareness, your conscious awareness says, oh, wait, that's some bull crap. That's not what I want. That's going to make me not be happy. That's going to make me not feel strength. Who wants to be burdened? Who wants to live their life afraid to do something, afraid to make a decision because someone may get upset or someone sees it as disrespect? It's disrespect to disrespect me. And to disrespect you. You should not disrespect you. You let other people put pressures and agendas on you, and you can't even push your own agenda. And number 4 is what's already been said in the room. Always do your best. In whatever you do, always do your best with the right intentions and for the desired result. Always do your best. If you say you're going to do something, do it well. If you're going to sweep the floor the best that you can. If you're going to be in a relationship, give your all, go all in, do everything, even when it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's making you grow. And if you find out that during this growth period that is not matching up, then you can release yourself, but you gotta give it your best. It can't be based upon someone else's issues, someone else's concerns, how it was with somebody else. The same thing with a job. When you get a job, you work that job with all your best of your ability. Go to work on time, leave on time, complete the task on time. Do whatever it is required of you in that position. And then when it no longer is for you to stay there, you can be released. Next level all day. Too many people are back and forth. Oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Oh, I don't like this job. You don't like the job because you didn't center yourself. You were trying to seek out the job to please other people and to appease your debt or perceived debt or the compliance that you had to have a job. So you took the first thing because people were like, oh, come on, do what you got to do. Let's get ourselves back into the position where we honor who we are. We get and tap into our sacred script. We identify what it is we're going to experience and experience that for ourselves. Nothing outside of you can give you what you need. It's already inside of you. It's all inside of you if you just believe. Right? It's all inside of you. There's nothing hidden, nothing missing. Everything is available to you. But you have to be willing to recognize that and begin to implement. Happy Friday it is. Too much is being thrown away in our lives because of conformity. Because of association. Because of tradition. Because of gender. because of religious affiliation. People are always trying to figure out where I fit in. It's none of your business. What is it? Look, how may I serve you today? How may I support you? If you call my phone, I say, it's a great day. How can I support? That's what I say. I'm not helping people because people aren't helpless. They just need support in getting done whatever they need to get done. Same thing with you. So don't let people trap you and guilt you into conforming. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for those hearts and likes. Don't be guilted into relationships, making relationships superior to who you are and what your purpose is. Because other people are uncomfortable about your relationship. Because other people are uncomfortable about your education choices. Because other people are uncomfortable about your money choices and how you use your money and how you make money. Thank you, my love, for the roses. Thank you. Because other people are consumed by controlling and arresting your development. They're trying to arrest your development. Oh, don't do that now. What are people going to think? It's people right now pissed at me that I tell people that I am a metaphysician and I am a spiritualist and I'm a healer and I'm a coach and I'm an author. I'm a counselor. I got a PhD. Yes, I do. What does that have to do with the price of butter? That was a journey that I took out of conformity. But now, once I got in there, it's opened doors for me. But now I'm able to leverage. Remember I talked about that? Leveraging your skills, knowledge, talents, abilities, and gifts in such a way that it brings you into life harmony. You cannot be in life harmony if you are waiting for somebody to approve your choices for development and evolvement. It won't work, my loves. Everybody around you happy, but you miserable. Everybody else in love, but you got to just settle because that's a better person, because that's who we like. That's who keep you. That person, like I said about the guy, the client, when his family told him they don't want him to stay with his wife for 10 years. They want him to go back to the ex because the ex is part of the culture and the current wife is not part of their culture. And they said he changed when he got with the wife. You know what it is? He no longer gives them money. He no longer is just always the yes man. He no longer is sitting there being used by them. Well, you don't send mama, you don't send mama this, and you're supposed to build mama a house, and you got all that money and you haven't built mama a house. That's not who else? But who else ain't built mama a house? Who else hasn't paid for the dinner? That would be a dishonor to the ancestors, the astral realm and the divine realm if you misuse the resources and the gifts that were given to you for you first. They get the ripple effect. Everything is for you first. That's why I said we got to stop putting that stuff on our children. We are the handlers of our children. We love them. We care for them. We guide them. We support them. We expose them to different experiences, and we let them grow and develop so they can complete their original assignment. Our children owe us nothing. Maybe they give us gratitude, and we should be honored that we get gratitude. Anything extra they give us, that is just a divine blessing. Yes, I'm serious about that. Stop arresting people's development. Stop trying to dictate and control other people's lives. Control your own. Make your own choices, your own decisions. Don't rebel. I always tell people, like, you know what? I deal with a lot of women, right? And they come back from these relationships, and all of a sudden, everybody want to get a BBL. They want to lose 100 pounds. They want to start dressing up again. Why you weren't doing that in the relationship? Before you left the man, before he left you, why weren't you doing that? Who told you not to do that? Why did you agree to it? Why did you agree to it? Because you were trying to conform and meet the expectations of another person that probably was uncomfortable with you being that person in the first place. Oh, I'm just accepting you the way you are. But when you met me, I was at a different space. So when you saw me declining, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you come and lift me back up or remind me? Not in a negative way, in a supportive way, in a gentle way, in an honest way. Too many of us, welcome Divine Empress, too many of us are missing the mark for our own personal purposes and life plans. Oh, hey, brother. Tally, welcome. We have to move into a different mindset, a different set of beliefs, so we can get into a set of knowings, the active state of using what you know to improve and maintain your life at a higher frequency. You are never too old, too knowledgeable that you cannot accept and receive information from another person or do something better. I was on my call last night for the full moon conversation, and I was telling them about the releasing and, what you do with full moons. And I gave them a little opportunity to do a little ritual, a little practice for them to do. And people were like, well, how do you know what to let go of? I said, the very first thing that came in your mind when I said release. Well, what if I feel like it's not, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But you have to search yourself. Nothing happens instantly. That's the challenge. Microwavable food and fast food drive-thrus and all that stuff make you think stuff is instant, but it's really not. Think about the process. If it's instant, you still have to get a container. You still have to do it. The first type of thing that you have to do for that's instant, maybe it's fruit, maybe a vegetable out the ground. But then don't you got to wash it if you want to, or dump it off on your, look, old school, dust it off on your clothes before you bite it when you pick it. So nothing is instant. And it took time for that fruit or that vegetable to develop. It took time for that plant to grow. So you had to be patient. You had to be observant. You had to nurture it. The same thing with you and your mission in life, your original assignment. Stop making everything about you be contingent upon someone else accepting. Because some people are arresting your development and your progress. And you're helping them because you're saying they're my family. They're my spouse. This is my community. This is my culture. This is my country. This is my fraternity, my sorority. This is my religion. But it's steadily arresting you. I remember I was with somebody one time. I got plenty of stories for y'all, right? So I remember one time I was with somebody. I was in a religious environment, and I went to go. I hung out with the person all the time, whatever. And when I got ready to go, they came to me and they said, "Well, I guess you coming to tell me you leaving. You at least could give me a month before you go." But I knew it was coming. That line alone was enough for me to say, that's why I'm leaving. And you shouldn't do that to other people either. Because what you're doing is manipulating, and you're trying to use people. Everybody uses everybody. We all use each other. We all use each other all the time. but your using should not destroy or harm or prevent or arrest another person's development. What's up, Haitian princess? People don't like the name of my company, Azan, Life Alchemy. Only a few people know who Azan is. But those that do know, they like, ooh, why you do that? Why you put that out there? Da, 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 da. I never get complaints, but my clients don't never have a problem with that. At all. Thank you so much. They never have an issue. Only those persons that understand what it really means and the power behind it and the purpose of it have a problem with it. Yeah? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. But I'm not doing what I'm doing because I'm trying to appease the masses. I'm doing what I'm doing because it's part of my divine purpose. It is part of my original assignment. I don't need 1,000 people on a live when I have 1,000 people in a room or on my roster. But I appreciate everyone that comes into my path that hears my voice, that feels my frequency, that is a part of me. This means we're connected in some type of way. We're supposed to be here together, enjoying, experiencing, growing, having conscious, honest, authentic talks that elevate and give us ascension in our lives, release us from the boundaries, from the limitations, from the fears, from the drudgery, from the confusion, from the drama. Yesterday, somebody who recognized me was like, "Oh, you're sharing. We can ask questions." And I said, "Not in this platform. This platform is only for conscious, honest, authentic talks. If you want to get a spiritual consult, you have to go to my link tree in the bio. I finally put it up there. You got to go there." And she was like, "But I thought I said, "No, don't make an assumption." Remember number 3, don't make an assumption that because you see me speaking, that you can just walk up to me. Don't get comfortable with your access. I'm not available to everyone, but I give all access. Thank you, Tanya, for the follow. Hi, Amanda. Queen Sheba, thank you so much. At some point, when do we back up from the assumptions or placing our expectations on another person and expecting them to fill them when we never even agreed to fill your expectations? That goes for somebody in the room. I felt it. Somebody in the room needs to think about that. Somebody in the room is putting expectations on a person that they know that person has no idea that they have that expectation, nor can that person meet it. So why are you expecting them to meet it? It goes back to what I said in the beginning. We seeking conformity by default, by association, by familiar ties, by religious ties, by school ties, by social ties. Instead of allowing ourselves to have the autonomy to know what exactly and who exactly we are and what we are contributing to the world. Let's be very clear. That's got to stop. That's got to stop completely. And we have to allow ourselves to dive deep into our sacred soul script and determine what is it we're supposed to be doing with whom, at what time, at what level. If you don't have your own stuff together, how are you going to go and support 19 other people? And when you're done supporting those 19 other people, you're drained. You have no clue. You're confused. Elevate ourselves, our thoughts, our purposes, our agendas, so they serve us. Don't let the pressures from other people distract you from your true purpose and the way you're supposed to contribute. Sometimes your contribution is just being present. Don't let people dictate what you need for your happiness. All I can tell you is, tell me what you enjoy. Tell me what you want. Well, how do you see yourself being able to do that? Is that something that you've wanted all the time? Or is this a new agenda? These are the levels of self-exploration. When you see people glowing and you see people, doing their thing, no hold bars. You just have to keep going. They're not going to enroll in there. Maybe it's just to be an observer, to be a cheerleader. Stop trying to include everybody in everything at every level. It doesn't work that way. I hear a lot of spouses say, well, me and my spouse are one. Yeah, you're one unit working together to ensure that the two parts continue to be whole and complete. And you build and create something new with this new union. Not to make another person stop being whole and complete because you don't feel whole and complete in the union. And if you don't feel whole and complete, and you feel that person is too complete and they make you feel too incomplete, then yes, you may need to sever that union and or get some support. We've been together for 19 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years. Time is only relevant to the person that is experiencing it at this time. What you think and what you experience in 1 year with that person may have a totally different experience. I'm just saying. Y'all still with me? Y'all still here? I see it. Thank you. We have to honor ourselves more. We have to reclaim our original assignment. We have to trust that the journey we are on and the thoughts that we receive and the vision that we recalled is ours. And know that it's not designed to hurt anyone. You're not in control of how another person is going to feel. You can't control that. You only can consider and create a space by which that is not your intention. And even when it's not your intention, they can still interpret it a different way. I'm just saying. What are we going to do? How we're going to move forward? What are we going to experience? What are we going to maximize in our life going forward from today forward? Because now we just had a conversation and now we're accountable for it. We're accountable to recognize that we are our greatest asset. We are accountable to recognize that connections to our family, to our religion, to our social groups, to our friend groups, whatever. No entity outside of yourself should be able to dictate and arrest your development, slow you down, prevent you from expanding. That's the whole premise of this conversation today. And if you are a person who is doing that to another person, stop it. I don't want to be left alone. They're going to leave me. They're going to leave you anyway. Well, you want them to stay with you and treat you like crap and not want you? Thank you for the follow. Hey, Crown Goddess. Is that what you expect? Is that what you desire? Is that what you want? The answer is no, not at all. You want to be in complete harmony with yourself, recognizing that you are your greatest asset, your greatest tool, your greatest resource that you could ever have. Because if there's something you need, you know it. And you're going to know exactly what you need. And you're going to reach out. I know who my people are that are drawn to me. right? The type of people that are drawn to me. I know that. So I don't have to do a lot of explaining. Yeah? And then we honor and we complete and we grow and we evolve and we elevate. Oh, I love it. Thank you. This is our conversation today. How does it feel? How did it grow? Hey, Mikey. Anyone who came in late that wants to see this in its entirety, you can go to, oh my gosh, my YouTube page. Oh, thank you, Crone Goddess. Thank you. You can go to my YouTube page. It's called Chat Time. And all the videos, all the lives that I do, I share them over there, and you can go back and watch it. And if you want to talk to me and see how we can continue conversations like this on a one-to-one basis or in one of my group programs, you can use the link in the bio. It will allow you to have a 20-minute consultation with me at no charge. We can talk about the options. If you think you're ready right away, you want to have a spiritual consult, or you want to join one of my programs, that's the best way to start, right? That's the best way to start, is with that 20-minute consultation. We can do a lot in 20 minutes. It's not going to be tell me your whole life. It's going to be about what thing resonated with you and that made you and prompted you to physically connect with me. That's what that's about. Reminding all of you that the men's retreat is coming up. So if you are a man over the age of 18 and you want to come and participate in the Warrior Restoration Retreat, and we would love for you to join us. The link is also found in my bio, and when you click that link tree, you can see it. Same thing with the Women's Inner Heal Her Reclaim Retreat. And and the couples retreat is going to be happening in Puerto Rico in February. That's also. Oh, thank you so much, Crone Goddess. I appreciate you subscribing. Wow, you were fast. I think the link is in that link tree, right? Yeah, I think they put the link in the link tree, so that's even better. So you don't even got to search out Chat Time. Just go and participate. So I thank you all for being here. If you have any questions for me, you feel free to type them in the room. If you're having a moment right now, you can type your question in the room, something you're experiencing, something you heard me say today that you want to comment on. That's perfectly fine. I love interactive conversations. I really do. I can talk, but I really enjoy hearing from you all, your thoughts, your insertions into this frequency that we're on. Absolutely, positively, so it is. That's how we function. We function in an exchange. You know, some of us are stuck, as I said earlier, we're stuck in one-sided situations, and it just doesn't work. I just heard something. Somebody said, but I love them. You know, What about love? Okay, so I'll tell you about love. You are love. You have love. If you don't have love in check in your life, it doesn't matter who you're with or who you're around, you're not going to feel love. And love is not enough. One person loving and respecting and honoring and trusting and knowing and expanding is not enough for a relationship. On any level. That includes your job. That includes your career. That includes your school. That includes your religious community. That includes your larger community, your family. If it's lopsided, it's lopsided. All right. Thanks for being here. I will see y'all again on tomorrow's Saturday. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, but I won't see you on Sunday because I'll be traveling to do my events. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Peace and blessings.